All right, let's get it. You're watching NBA Now by Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. Thanks to all of you for supporting everything that we do here at Chat Sports. If you want to be a part of some of our NBA news and rumors mailbags, as we've been going live multiple times every single week on NBA Now, just subscribe to the channel. Not only do we cover the NBA, cover college football and the NFL as well. Training camp is here, so our NFL coverage starting to ramp up. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's ride. We begin this mailbag with this $10 super chat coming in from the Gold Eagle 99. Thank you so much for your donation and supporting us here at Chat Sports. This is a really good question. 2012 Olympic team against the 1992 Dream Team in a 7-game series, who you got? So the 2012 Olympic team was really good. And obviously the 92 Dream Team, it had star power on it. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson. You had Larry Bird at the tail end of his prime. That team was legendary. That team was stacked. But because of modern medicine and because of players being in better shape and the overall depth of the 2012 team, they'd give that 92 team a run for their money. Here is that 2012 squad. Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Darren Williams, Andre Iguodala, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Love, James Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Carmelo Anthony. All those players legit are in their prime during 2012. Like every single one of them. And then some of that youth, that was before their prime. So they'd be able to play that energizer role of playing good defense against some of those 92 guys who were a little bit older. So I might have to side with the 2012 Olympic team, although it would be an excellent series. Who do you got? Let us know, 92 or 12. Get those votes into the comment section right now. Move forward in this mailbag with this one coming in from Chris Branlin. Damian Lillard wants Draymond Green bad. Any chance the Blazers swing a deal for him? Maybe at the deadline, if not next offseason. I'm interested to see what the Draymond Green approach to this will be. Will he get hostile? Will he try to demand a trade? Will he let the Warriors front office know that he wants out? I think that he's in such a great position in Golden State that why be the disruptor? Try to find a way to get a deal done, but also be realistic. You're 32 years old. You're a declining offensive player. And while he has so much underrated value on that Warriors team, a max contract for Draymond Green can be cost prohibitive. Now, Draymond, I'd said a little bit earlier during our live show, like you put him on some teams across the NBA, Miami Heat, Phoenix Suns, even like the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, or the Portland Trailblazers, as Chris says here, which is a great point. He'd be on a great team in a great role for him to elevate others, which is what he does so well with the Golden State Warriors. If he goes to a bad team, I don't think it'd be worth it for that team. It all depends on the fit. With Draymond and Chris, you bring up a good point. I like the fit on the Blazers. Loyalty, looks like the Lakers are keeping the big three. Anyone else they should sign? It's slim pickings right now. It's really slim pickings. And I agree, Loyalty. It looks as though the Lakers are going to move forward with Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, and I don't really agree with it. Now, if KD gets traded, Kyrie is going to get dealt. And if Kyrie gets traded, I think there's only one trade partner out there that makes sense. It's the Lakers, because LeBron James is one of the few players in the league who can take on the drama that surrounds Kyrie Irving. And we've seen it actually work before, and the Lakers have a need at that point guard spot. I think the Lakers become a better team in doing so with Kyrie as compared to Russ, but is there anyone else that they should sign? Slim pickings. Reunion with Dennis Schroeder, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMarcus Cousins, Dwight Howard, Jeremy Lamb. Those are some of the players out there. Colin Sexton, probably a little bit too expensive unless you deal away Russ. That would be my plan B. Go after Colin Sexton. Tyrone Sankey, what do you think of this 3-team trade? The Heat get KD, Nets get Bam, Max Strus, Tyler Hero, and Russell Westbrook, and 5 first-round picks, and the Lakers get Ben Simmons. You know, Tyrone, that's really interesting. And you know about that rookie provision because you can't have 2 players on a roster who sign rookie max contracts while on their rookie deals. So because of that, you can't have Ben Simmons and Bam Adebayo on the same team. You'd have to get rid of Simmons. I think Simmons on the Lakers would be a pretty interesting fit. That would thrust Anthony Davis into that 5 spot, not a position that he's wanted to play, but if he's smart and if he wants mismatches, which who doesn't, I think he ends up taking on that role. The Heat getting KD makes them once again a championship contender. With the Nets, it's all about the rebuild at that point, and I think you rebuild with Bam, Max Strus, Tyler Hero, and you just take on that Russell Westbrook contract, and you get 5 first-round picks, so that allows you to get some good player assets right now and then build in the future. Tyrone, I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. Aladdin walk-off sports kid with this one. Looks like the Hawks can make the finals next year. I think that's lofty. I'm not sure that Atlanta is going to compete for the NBA Finals. I think that they'll be better than being an NBA play-in team from last year when, let's be honest, they were a big disappointment. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, and then last year play-in tournament, and were basically mopped by the Miami Heat in the first round, and Trae Young looked lost. The Hawks going to be an improved team, but in a really deep Eastern Conference, I'm not sure about the Finals, but if it happens, I'll remember what you said, Aladdin. Have a nice little sub battle going on here at Chat Sports between 3 of our regional channels in terms of channels in the Northeast. Are you a fan of any of these squads? Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks now, or Boston Celtics today? Well, in addition to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, we have 28 total channels here under the Chat Sports umbrella. Sixers, Knicks, Celtics included in them. Nice little sub battle going on between rivalries. Philadelphia, New York, Boston. If you're a fan of any of these teams, make sure you search them and subscribe today. Tassie27, should the Hornets replace Bridges with Kenyon Martin Jr.? It's actually not a terrible idea. I mean, obviously, you're not replacing the production of Bridges with Kenyon Martin Jr. Bridges was really good last year, and just an all-time fumbling of the bag for him. Egregious. Not only domestic violence charges filed against him, but also child abuse charges. Like, what are you doing? And he gets arrested on the eve of free agency when he's set to make $25 to $30 million. That ain't it. I don't hate Kenyon Martin Jr. The Hornets are a loser this offseason because they haven't improved the roster, and they hired a retread, and in their former head coach and Steve Clifford doesn't really bring much to the table. Losing Bridges hurts. Could Kenyon Martin make up for that? Maybe just a little bit, but not all that much. Lazy Laker. What's the latest on Kai Sotto after he didn't get drafted? So just some context, during the NBA draft lead-up, we were talking a lot about international prospects from all across the globe, and there was a big interest in Kai Sotto because we have a large Filipino audience. By the way, everybody in the Philippines tuning in, if you were impacted by that earthquake that registered on the Richter scale of more than 7, I hope that all of you are safe and sound in the Philippines, because we here at Chat Sports love you. And Kai Sotto, hopefully him and his family are okay, because he was attempting to be the first Filipino basketball player who was born in the Philippines to get drafted. Now, Jordan Clarkson and Jalen Green are of Filipino descent, but Kai Sotto was trying to make history. As we know, he didn't get drafted. So here's the latest with Kai. He did go undrafted. I thought this was weird that he didn't participate in the NBA Summer League. Would have been a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills. The average attendance per day at a couple of those Summer League games, 11,000. They broke records, and he could have played in that and gained a lot of traction, maybe signed a UDFA deal. I've always said this. If Taco Fall and Boban Marjanovic can play in the NBA, I think Kai Sotto deserves a shot. Because he didn't play in the Summer League, because he didn't get drafted, he is under contract in the NBL in Australia, one of the best international leagues in the world, with the Adelaide 36ers, and he's expected to assume a larger role with the team because the 36ers going to lose some players in that front court. So this past year only played about 15 minutes per game. The production was pretty solid. This upcoming year, maybe he even improves his stock a little bit so that he can carve out a role on an NBA roster. I mentioned the regional rivalry that we have going down inside the Chat Sports walls here, but also on Rumble, just an overall NBA rivalry. That's where you can also find some exclusive NBA content. Golden State Warriors today, NBA now, Lakers report. You see the follower counts here. Really good competition. It's like we've been riding the seesaw ever since we partnered with Rumble. You can find free and exclusive content over there by heading to rumble.com/NBA now. We go to this one from Philly Irish Drew Evo. Did the Sixers make another move? Appreciate you tuning in from Philadelphia, my guy. I'm from Westchester, went to Temple. Shout out to 610, the 215, and the 484. I see you rocking that Eagles hat, and obviously with the nickname on YouTube, you're from Philly as well. Did the Sixers make another move? I don't really know what they do. I'd like to see them bring in another backup center. Reunion with Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, Hassan Whiteside. I like Paul Reed, but you need another backup center and a veteran piece in there who's actually capable as compared to DeAndre Jordan would be nice. Do you take a flyer on Jeremy Lamb? Do you want Dennis Schroeder as a backup point guard when James Harden and Tyrese Maxey need a little bit of a break from ball handling responsibilities? Maybe, but slim pickings right now. The Sixers roster, I think they've improved it from last year in terms of depth and their starting five and toughness, so I do like where the Sixers are at right now. Speaking of the Sixers, Drew, get your vote in. Others, get your votes in. What the Sixers need and what is their biggest weakness, what do you think it is? O for offense, D for defense. Chime in right now in the comment section. TJ, do the Nets want Marcus Smart in the Kevin Durant package? Are the Celtics considering it? No, they are not considering it. The Celtics, according to Shams Charania, and I take stock in that report because Shams is very reliable as an NBA reporter, the Celtics have offered Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and first-round picks. The Nets want more, and I understand where they're coming from. If you package, let's say, Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams, Derek White, and Marcus Smart for KD with first-round picks, it'd be hard for the Nets to turn that down because among all trade offers in the NBA, can you do better in terms of an individual building block than Jaylen Brown, who I think is one of the top young wings in the NBA and has extraordinary value and continues to get better? I don't think so. So what it comes down to for the Nets, they just want more than basically just Jaylen Brown in that deal. Trey Smith, Chris Middleton will leave the Bucks in 2023 and seek one massive final payday. He should try to cash in because you're right, Trey. That'll probably be the last time that he's going to get a max contract. And I think Chris Middleton is somewhat underrated. Really good mid-range player, really good three-point shooter. He doesn't have a flashy game, and I feel like people just kind of underrate his value. He's above average defensively, and as a shot maker, he's bailed the Bucks out many times when Drew can't get it going or Giannis doesn't have that shot falling because defenders will just sag off Giannis and he has to give it up to Chris Middleton. Middleton's a good player, and there will be teams after him in 2023 NBA free agencies going into the final year of his deal. Jay Fish, Draymond Green threatens to team up with LeBron if not offered a max extension. You put Draymond on the Lakers, that's an interesting team. LeBron at the 3, let's say the wing. Draymond at the 4, Anthony Davis at the 5. You got to figure out point guard and 2 guard. Maybe you trade for Buddy Hield. You bring in a solid point guard who can play make and maybe not be a primary scorer. But Colin Sexton, look, I think you just make me the Lakers general manager after I just did that. Now, find a way to make it happen, right? Trade for Colin Sexton. Trade for Buddy Hield. LeBron James at the 3. Draymond at the 4, if he opts out next year with that player option, and then Anthony Davis at the 5. That allows you to compete for a championship over the next couple of years. Also, LeBron's status, his future in LA, that's also a little bit unknown because he's going into the final year of his deal as well. Aldo, $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate all of you guys who work at Chat Sports. And Chase, I know you do your homework and have a lot of knowledge. Please explain to us why the Miami Heat was not on your top 10 lineups list. Thanks. So in case you missed it, on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, I did put together a list of my top 10 starting lineups. The Heat were at 11. I had them in, then I had them out. I had the Chicago Bulls in, then I had them out. If you look at that list, I think there are better starting 5s than Miami and 10 better starting 5s. My big question, who replaces PJ Tucker? You have a little bit of a void there. So the starting 5 right now, my best guess for it would be Kyle Lowry at the 1, Max Strus, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then who else is in there? You probably want Tyler Hero to remain as that 6-man. Do you get back Duncan Robinson with his confidence and put him back there? Is Victor Oladipo a capable starter? That's the big question. Without PJ Tucker, I'm just not sure what that lineup brings to the table, and there's a question mark there. Do you go with one of the Martin brothers? You could do that. Gabe Vincent started some games throughout the NBA playoffs. But then you have kind of like a dual point guard system with Lowry and Vincent. There were just too many questions for me, and that's why I had the Miami Heat outside of the top 10. But Aldo, thank you so much for that $20 super chat and the compliment on the basketball knowledge. I do put in a lot of homework, and I work my ass off to give you guys the best content, and we all do here at Chat Sports, as Aldo just said. So if you made it this far, we know that Aldo is a real one. If you're a real one as well, type real one right now in the comment section.